Welcome in to this edition of Great City Attractions. In this offering we visit a city of steel reaching high towards the heavens above. These are the Great City Attractions of New York City. The Statue of Liberty. The Lady made of copper given as a gift. The Statue of Liberty stands on Liberty Island in New York Harbor. Dedicated in 1886, this model of Libertas carries a torch high in her right hand. In her left hand she holds a tablet celebrating the date of the Declaration of American Independence. This model of Libertas is arguably the most photographed landmark in New York City. Central Park, a green oasis in the middle of a heaving metropolis. Central Park, which covers more than 800 acres, attracts up to 40 million visitors annually. Attractions within the park include the Wollman Rink ice skating facility, the Central Park Zoo, and the Cleopatra Needle, dating back to the 1400s BC. The American pastime of baseball is played here over some 26 fields. The Empire State Building. A true behemoth towering over the Empire State and indeed the city below. Construction of the steel, granite and limestone giant was completed in 1931. On completion, it became the tallest building in the world. Today, the sights of the city can be seen from a number of observation decks. More than 20,000 workers trade their time among the 100-plus floors of the building. Times Square. Neon lights bring the crowds to Times Square. A junction point of a number of major roads, Times Square attracts over 300,000 pedestrians a day. The square is famous for its New Year's celebrations, while it also saw huge crowds turn out to mark the end of the World War II conflict. Times Square Studio is located on the square, while Coca-Cola, MTV and Planet Hollywood have all had their logos up in lights here. Grand Central Terminal. A National Historic Landmark, the Grand Central Terminal was opened in 1913. The station possesses over 40 platforms and 60 tracks, with over 60 million passengers passing through the terminal every year. The main concourse clock, Vanderbilt Hall, and the Oyster Bar restaurant are all famous sights to be enjoyed here. If you're enjoying this video, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel below. Brooklyn Bridge. New York City has many famous bridges. The Brooklyn Bridge may well be the most recognizable. Crossing the East River, the bridge, which opened in the 1980s, spans more than a mile in length. Elevated trains and streetcars once crossed the bridge in large numbers, while P.T. Barnum famously led a troop of elephants over the construction in 1884. It's estimated over 110,000 vehicles go over the bridge every day. The 9/11 Memorial and One World. The site of both a memorial and museum, the National September 11 Memorial Site commemorates those lost in the terrorist attacks of 2001. Reflecting absence, a design incorporating waterfalls fills the void where the Twin Towers once stood. Over 400 white oak trees fill the Memorial Plaza. The September 11 Museum opened in 2014 and displays over 14,000 artifacts. Damaged steel beams and fire trucks are among the pieces of interest. Ellis Island. Many of the hands that built America first had to contend with the rigors of Ellis Island. A major stop-off point for those wishing to live the American dream, Ellis Island has a momentous human history attached to it. Once used as a military fort, an immigration processing point, and a prisoner of war camp during the World Wars, today visitors can tour the sights of the island by taking a ferry from Liberty State Park. Hudson River. A waterway carving its way through New York State, the Hudson separates New York City and Jersey City. The river was named after an Englishman in employment of the Dutch East India Company, with a number of Native American tribes having their homelands on the river. The Hudson saw major action during the American War of Independence, with notable battles being the Battle of Long Island and the Battle of Harlem Heights. In 2009, a passenger plane was forced to make an emergency landing on the icebound river. All 155 passengers survived the ordeal. The Metropolitan Museum of Art. Known as the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art was established in the 1870s. The museum remains among the most visited art museums in the world, as visitors flock to see the over 2 million works exhibited here. Among the great pieces on show here are the Death of Socrates, the famous Washington crossing the Delaware, and a work by Vincent van Gogh named Self-Portrait with Straw Hat. Broadway. There's no business like show business. Theatre in this area of New York City dates back to the mid-1850s. Classical theatre proved popular here in the 1920s, with Othello, Richard II and Romeo and Juliet attracting large audiences. In modern times, the Phantom of the Opera and Cats have been hits, with Phantom of the Opera running for over 35 years. If you want to see The Lion King, Chicago or The Book of Mormon, then head down to Broadway. That concludes this edition of Great City Attractions. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. What are your favourite places in New York City? Comment below.